Sunday, 2nd of August 2015. Paper highlights. First, let's look at the paper highlights from Sunday Observer. Bribery officials on the mat. Justice Minister alleges cover-ups, inaction and lack of interest. The government is to inquire into the conduct of certain members of the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption for their failure to pursue cases against ministers of the former administration due to blatant cover-ups or lack of interest amidst increasing public allegations of dragging their feet. Another highlight from Sunday Observer. SLMC tells TNA no talks, no merger. General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress and State Minister of Health MT Hassan Ali paid plans by the Tamil National Alliance to unilaterally propose a Northeast unification would be rejected outright by the Muslims unless there was consultation and consensus. Responding to the TNA call for the merger of the North and the East based on Tamil leaders' persistent call for a federal system of governance within a unified northeastern province, Hassan Ali said the Eastern Muslims will continue to agitate for the creation of a separate unit of devolution consisting of all non-contiguous geographical areas where Muslims are settled, model on India's Pondicherry Union territory. Another highlight from Sunday Observer. Before July 31st, 70% candidates declare assets. A record 70% of candidates contesting the August 17th parliamentary elections had submitted their asset and liability declarations by Friday, July 31st, the original deadline set by the Department of Elections. Confirming this, Additional Elections Commissioner M.M. Mohammed, however, told the Sunday Observer it was too early to give an accurate breakdown of who had declared their assets as the data was still with the district returning officer. More highlights from Sunday Observer. Vigneswaran refuses to campaign for TNA. Chief Minister Northern Province C.V. Vigneswaran's public remarks about his decision to not engage in TNA's election campaign has irked the party supporters. TNA spokesman, former parliamentarian Suresh Premachandran, claimed it was Vigneswaran's duty to work for the victory of the party in his capacity as Chief Minister of the Council. Vigneswaran, in a public statement last week, commented on the criticism leveled at him by the TNA for not maintaining a neutral and non-partisan stance following his election as Chief Minister in 2013 and said it was to demonstrate neutrality that he would not be involved in election propaganda work. His statement came after his return from visits to the US and the UK, where he had meetings with associations of Tamil diaspora communities. Another highlight from Sunday Observer. SC judge to be impeached for moral turpitude. Justice Minister Vijayadasa Rajapaksa yesterday warned the government would not hesitate to impeach the Supreme Court judge charged with sexual harassment after August 17th. Minister Rajapaksa, in an interview with the Sunday Observer, said action would be taken to protect people's trust in the judiciary. This is not the first time such charges have been brought against this particular judge, he said, pointing out that complaint of alleged sexual violence and harassment had been made against the judge on 4 separate occasions. Another highlight from Sunday Observer. Is NPC war crime probe implementer? GL challenges government to clarify position. Former Minister of External Affairs Professor GL Pieris yesterday challenged the government to clarify its position on the leaked UN document which claims the United Nations is prepared to assist Sri Lanka initiate a credible domestic probe into the alleged human rights violations committed during the final phase of war. The document is currently under intense discussion by local and international media. The government offers no clear answer, Pieris said at a media briefing held at headquarters of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, pointing out that the opposition has repeatedly requested the government to declare its position with regard to the UNHRC sessions in Geneva this September. Now let's move to the paper highlights from Ceylon today. UN War Crimes Probe. Government NPC. Secret Pact, says SLFP. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party charged that the government had signed a secret pact with the Northern Provincial Council in conjunction with the UN to address the accountability issues through a domestic mechanism on alleged war crimes and is ready to table a report in Geneva in September without the consent of the people or parliament. Another highlight from Ceylon today. RADA case. AG contradicts Daily News story on MR. The Attorney General's Department contradicted the lead story published in the Daily News issue of 30th July 2015 under the headline "MR likely to be questioned over fraud allegations" within a few hours of publication, when the fundamental rights petition filed by former parliamentarian Tiran Ellis was taken up for hearing on the day the Daily News published that lead story. Additional Solicitor General Yasantha Kodagoda told the Chief Justice and the panel of judges through the original complaint was made against former President Mahinda Rajapaksa on the issue concerning RADA investigations have revealed that former President Mahinda Rajapaksa was not involved in the issue. Additional Solicitor General Kodagoda appeared on behalf of the Attorney General in the RADA case. Now let's move to the paper highlights from the Sunday Times. Italian job scam. Lanka faces blacklisting. 480 of 594 visas sold in black market for rupees 500 million. Former regime officials suspected. Italy has threatened to blacklist Sri Lanka in the job market following a scandal involving the alleged sale of 480 officially sanctioned employment visas to private individuals at a staggering rupees 500 million or more, senior officials and industry sources said yesterday. Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment Additional General Manager Mangala Randeniya told the Sunday Times that 594 job visas in the domestic and semi-skilled category were issued by the Italian government last year, but only 114 were documented with the regulatory authorities, while the remaining had gone unaccounted for. Another highlight from the Sunday Times: joint South Asian battle against narcotics, human smuggling. Sri Lanka will from next month be part of a new regional grouping to share intelligence to prevent drug trafficking, human smuggling and organized crime, a senior official said yesterday. National Dangerous Drugs Control Board Chairman Nilanga Samarasinghe told the Sunday Times the groundwork for this had been laid, and later this month the leaders of several Asian countries would sign an agreement. This Indian Ocean Monitoring Center would be set up to prevent drug trafficking, money laundering, human trafficking and transnational organized crime in the region, he said. More highlights from the Sunday Times. Security stepped up for UNP candidates. Police probing the attack on supporters of Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayake at Kotahena on Friday are looking into two possible motives: a political attack or rivalry among underworld gangs, a senior police officer said. 20 suspects were taken in for questioning soon after the attack, which was the worst act of violence in the current election campaign. The suspects were released after statements were recorded from them. Another highlight from the Sunday Times: fuel prices may be reduced again within 3 months. Fuel prices are likely to be reduced further within the next 3 months, with world prices going down and Sri Lanka now being able to buy oil directly from Iran following the lifting of sanctions by the United States, a top official said yesterday. Power and Energy Ministry Secretary BMS Batagoda told the Sunday Times Sri Lanka's oil purchase bill could be significantly reduced in the next 3 months and the benefits would be passed on to the people. He said that when Iranian crude oil came to the market, the price was likely to drop by as much as $5 a barrel. We brought you the paper highlights from today's newspapers, and we will bring you more tomorrow.